Es ist unglaublich schwer, sauer auf Tom zu sein. Wenn der anfängt zu lachen, kann ich einfach nicht ernst bleiben.
Das verrückte Lachen hat er von Mama. Und die gesunden Zähne hat er von der AOK Rheinland-Pfalz-Saarland. Wechselt jetzt in die familienstarke Kasse und sichert euch noch mehr gesunde Extras über 1.700 € jährlich. Zum Beispiel 100 € mit dem AOK Zahnkonto. AOK Gesundheit erleben. Jetzt mehr erfahren auf gerngesund.de.
Today on CityCast Philly, everyone wants a deal during the holidays. So we have some tips for stretching your dollar at the grocery store. We are revisiting an episode from September where CityCast Philly executive producer Laura Benshoff, producer Abby Fritz, and I broke down the best grocery store hacks in Philly. It's Thursday, December 28th. I'm Trenae Nuri, and here's what Philly's talking about. Hey, Laura. Hey, Abby.
Hey, Trenae.
Hi, Trenae.
Okay, so Laura, when we were talking as a team, you brought up this really interesting article from the Philadelphia Magazine. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so this article is called Why Are We So Obsessed with Wegmans? And it sort of centers around a new one that's going in Bucks County in an area called Lower Makefield. Mm-hmm. And for folks who may not know, Wegmans is a grocery store chain. And it's mostly in the suburbs. There isn't one in Philly proper. And it's just about like the lengths people go to find one of these stores and shop at them because they are so loyal to the brand. They just like going there so much. People are obsessed with certain snacks they have and like the kind of like ready-made food. They have like a salad bar area, kind of like a Whole Foods. People identify as a Weg man or a Weg maniac, apparently, according to this article. God. And so it's just all about this like brand loyalty that this one grocery store chain has. And I know some people who are really into Wegmans. And that just kind of got me thinking about like what makes a good grocery store? Why do people have like an affinity for a certain place? And I was wondering, have either of y'all ever been to a Wegmans?
I may have been to one, but I don't remember.
What about you, Abby?
Yeah, I've been to a couple Wegmans in my time, but mostly in upstate New York. So I haven't been to any in PA. And it was interesting because it felt kind of like a Whole Foods to me, but like bigger and like more stuff. And yeah, definitely remember going to the hot bar and being like, oh, this is cool. But definitely was also like, cannot do this every week. I cannot afford this.
Oh, prices. Yeah. Okay, I get it.
It was a nice little treat though. It was a fun experience. And I love a like big grocery store that I can run around all day in. So that was nice.
Okay, so there are so many different types of grocery store options in Philly. We're not going to mention every single store. There's no way we can. But we wanted to give you, our listeners, a little taste of the range of places that you can get your groceries. So we're going to talk about some of the different options that are out there. So we'll give you some recommendations.
Yeah, so we'll start with some of the discount places. Aldi coming to Philly was a big deal, and people love it because like the cheapest like cheese you can get, like certain kinds of snacks. So if you're looking for discounts, Aldi's there. There's also Grocery Outlet. And then there's another like German company like Aldi. It's called Lidl or Little. I'm not exactly positive how to pronounce that one. But they are also opening in Philly. So there's a bunch of different discount options if you're really, want to watch your wallet.
We got to talk about the big box ones. So these are like the grocery chains. So we have Giant, Acme, ShopRite's, or Fresh Grocers that are also available.
Yep, and Acme's from Philly originally. It was started by
cool.
some Philly folks, so that's a local one.
Didn't know that. And then there's also some places you can go that have groceries in them, but it's also like a big box store that carries other stuff. So I'm thinking of like Walmart. When I need to get cat litter or cat food, I go to Walmart and then get my groceries too. And then like Target as well, I think would fall into that category of you can get groceries, but they've also got a lot of other stuff going on too.
Yeah. We also have wholesale clubs. Are you guys members of any?
No.
I am not, but I've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it seriously.
I would kill for a Costco membership.
Yeah. If you get a membership, like you have officially, like you're an adult. Like,
Yes.
got my
Accurate.
membership.
You're buying your beans in bulk, your TP. That means you're an adult.
But sometimes people actually go to Jersey. They'll go over the bridge in Jersey to go to a BJ's. Now, we do have a BJ's in Philly, and there are some Costco's in our area, but you have to have a car. And, there are some grocery stores where you don't have to have a membership card to get bulk items, like PJP's, and they have several different locations in the city. And then also, don't sleep on Produce Junction. You can get like a bag of 7 bell peppers for about $3 or $4. And Produce Junction also has a great selection of flowers and plants.
That's a great tip.
Yeah, and then we also have some of the more like high-end or like organic grocery stores in the city. Whole Foods, of course, there's a couple. Trader Joe's, I think, falls into that category, even though I do think there are some deals there as well, but they definitely have a good amount of organic. Sprouts comes to mind, Mom's Organic, and DeBruno Bros. So we've got a lot of fancier stuff if you feel like you want to splurge on some ingredients.
Totally. Another option are food co-ops. So those are stores where customers kind of buy into the store. You pay for a membership and you become a part owner. So you might get a discount for that, or you get to say what gets stocked on the shelves. And they also focus often on sourcing food from local farms or businesses. So your options there are Weaver's Way, which has locations in Chestnut Hill and Mount Airy in the city. There's also Mariposa Food Co-op in West Philly, the South Philly Food Co-op in South Philly. And so if you care about what kind of business you shop from, or you want to eat more seasonally or locally, you have that option.
Yeah. And I also think we can't forget like the grocery stores that carry ingredients specific to like different places in the world. Like there is this incredible Asian market on Spring Garden called New Spring Garden Supermarket that I love. It's huge. They have everything you need there, and it just has like awesome Asian ingredients. Anything you could ever need in terms of Asian cuisine. So it's great. They also have Maka Market in West Philly. They do carry a lot of like Middle Eastern specific stock. And then there's some Russian and Eastern European stores in Northeast Philly, like Petrovsky Market on Bustleton Ave. And even the Italian market on South 9th Street, I think, falls into this category. I think like some of these are a little smaller, or there's a ton of like corner stores throughout the city that also kind of serve communities in this way. But I think, it's hard to compare some of them just size-wise to like,
They're not a giant.
a Whole Foods or a Walmart or anything like that. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about some of our favorite grocery stores. What's your biggest need when you go grocery shopping?
Very good question. What do you think, Trenae? What's your answer?
See, for me, it depends on when that direct deposit hits.
Yes.
I'm all about the prices, obviously. That's like always on top of mind. But, when I want to splurge a little bit, I'll go to a Whole Foods and go to the hot bar. I love the hot bars. But then, when I'm being responsible with my wallet, I'm definitely getting produce from Giant. I like their sales. I love Walmart too. I love Walmart for cheaper snacks for the kids' lunch. And I will choose Aldi's. Now, I don't really like Aldi's like generic food as much anymore. I used to like go hard for Aldi's. I'll go to Aldi's for like candles. They have really great deals on candles and like home good items.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd say similarly, I'm generally looking for a deal. And, I think especially I didn't have a car in the city for a long time. And it is really hard when you don't have a car to go grocery shopping in certain parts of the city. And so when I did not have a car, when I was running around with my little bags trying to shop for myself, I think I really focused on like, okay, can I find cheap stuff? Where can I find all the other stuff I'm going to need? what can I do? So I kind of had a little setup where I would go to the Italian market on South 9th Street to get all of my produce because I'm a big produce fan. So they have like nice quality stuff, but it's also like such a good price. And then I would kind of use Acme and some of the other bigger stores along the way home to fill in the gaps that I couldn't get at some of the more affordable places. Or I would just bus it to Walmart, and make a whole like 12-hour day out of it and just get everything I need and then either Uber home or try my best to lug, my cat litter bin and all my groceries back on the bus. So, yeah.
I'm getting tired just listening to you.
It's so much.
Yeah.
How about you, Laura?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm mostly vegetarian, so that's a big part of what I think about when I go grocery shopping, in addition to the convenience of where can I get what I need. I buy a lot of vegetables and I buy a lot of fish and then like sort of like non-meat proteins. And I am generally super happy, even in like the big chain stores now, you can find like non-meat protein options at the Acme, at the Giant. You can get tofu, you can get Beyond or Impossible products. And that's awesome. And I also recently in the last year found out about this one fish place that I'm pretty into. It is called Small World Seafood. It's a guy with a truck and you get on like his email list. And you're like, I want this fish. He tells you what he has in stock every week. And you go pick it up from his truck. And it's been really good quality and like not bad prices because seafood can be pricey, meat can be pricey, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And he also has a storefront on 4th Street, north of Vine. And then just in terms of like produce, the freshest stuff is often at the kind of like places that have the organic that tell you, this came from Lancaster, or this came from New Jersey, like the co-ops and the farmers markets. But also like, we do have a lot of great produce from Jersey just across the river. So you can go to Acme, you can go to Giant, and you can get things like corn and tomatoes in season, and they're going to be really good and really fresh. So that's what I like to keep an eye out for.
Let's get into some grocery store hacks. Now, double check me on this, but go to the bakery at a ShopRite or Fresh Grocer and ask them if they can get your baby's first birthday cake or a little smash cake for free. You might have to, show their birth certificate, but I love when a grocery store does things like this. Acme recently gave me a bit of a discount because we wore Eagles gear while shopping. So, it makes me think like grocery stores are so essential to a neighborhood and they can really make you feel like you're part of that community, you're part of the neighborhood when they do little nice things like this. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also recommend Giant has some of the best discounts when you can shop and if you can find a Giant that also is associated with a gas station. These tend to be in the counties though, so outside of Philly, but if you are looking to save on your groceries and get cheaper gas, I would recommend Giant. Also, sign up for every digital coupon app to the store if they have one. Get those store memberships and save some money.
Yeah, I use the Acme one when I do have to go there. I've got some coupons I've got saved right now. I would also say, so I have a couple hacks, and one is kind of like to save money, and another is kind of like when you maybe want to have something a little fancy and splurge. But beer can sometimes be cheaper at Whole Foods than it will be at like Acme. And yeah,
This
beer
makes
and
no
wine.
sense to me.
No, you have to look, and it really threw me off the first time I was like realizing that. But now I just go online and I will take the time to cross-reference. And then it gives me an excuse to go to Whole Foods every once in a while to get my little beer. And then I'll go get some really sexy bread from, I love bread.
Sexy bread, I love it.
Sexy bread.
The person with the gluten intolerance is talking about sexy bread.
Hey. I love bread. I know it's so bad, but when I do have bread.
Gotta make it count.
Exactly. So I'll go to Whole Foods and I'll pick the loaf and you can get it like sliced there, like put it through the slicer machine.
Oh.
And they have great sourdough. And they have like a rosemary sourdough that I will get at least once a month. But if you want to save a little money at Whole Foods, you can go to the cheese section and they'll have this little area. It's in like a little bin. And I used to do this all the time when I worked there. the cheese scraps. So it's like tiny little pieces of cheese from all the fancy cheese that they can't sell because they, when you cut up the cheese, like there's a little left over. So it'll be like $1 to try like some super fancy like Gruyere, like something ridiculous. And it's really fun for if you want to do a little picnic with some cheese and crackers. Great for charcuterie boards. I love going and getting my fancy cheese.
Okay, you had way better hacks than I did.
Just Whole Foods hacks, though.
Those are great hacks, Abby. My hacks are a little bit more big picture. But for me, like one of the things that has been transformational, especially when I was like living alone, was using my freezer because like food would go bad. It's hard to like buy the right amount of food when you live alone. And so when I started realizing like you could buy like bread that was discounted, like every grocery store will mark down their bread. But if you stick it in the freezer and toast it, it tastes fine. So that is sort of like a big picture hack. The other one is more like an experiential hack, which is like going to like a big box grocery store, like a Giant or a Fresh Grocer or an Acme, like before an Eagles game, like you might get stuck in line because everybody's buying like 40 bags of chips and like all of their snacks. And like I would often like go to the grocery store on Sunday and be like, why is it so crowded? And I'd be like, oh yeah, because everybody's like buying their snacks for the game. And so just in general now I kind of try to avoid that time. I'm like, but yeah, those are my hacks.
All right, that was CityCast Philly lead producer Laura Benshoff and producer Abby Fritz here with me talking about all these great hacks of navigating our region's grocery stores. Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, thanks. This was fun.
Thanks, Trenae.
That's all for today here on CityCast Philly. If you enjoyed this episode about all these grocery store hacks, tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to sign up for our morning newsletter, Hey Philly, to learn more about what else Philly's talking about. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye.